Hello. Now we are going to continue to work on this groom, and after that, I'm going to work on the facial hair, the the peach fuzz, and the hair on the back, on the shoulders, the neck, and the eyebrows, the eyelashes as well. So let's go with that. First, I'm going to refine this groom. I want to do some. Let me take the tool here. I want to tweak the fading here and this hairline here, this parting line, and I want to also create a parting line here like this. And also I want to make the hair a little bit longer on this area here, a bit like this, just a little bit. And after that I'm going to start working on the facial hair. Okay, let me grab my tablet. First I'm going to do some grooming. Let me have the hair stack window here. And I'm going back to the edit guides. Here is where we are going to comb the guides. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt. That's why we are here, to answer your questions. So as I said, I want to create a parting line here, so I may add some guides, some new guides. I think this hairline here is too high, so I want to tweak that, and I also want to tweak the fading on this side just a little bit. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay, first of all, I'm going to turn off these nodes to have a bit better performance. Let me let leave the length node on so we can have the nice fade. And I'm going to reduce the hair count to 0.025 maybe. Let's see how it looks. Just enough to uh, to be able to see what we are doing. Let's give it a few seconds to process. No, that's too little. Maybe zero point 0.1. That's too few hairs. If the audio is not good, feel free to let me know in the chat. It breaks sometimes, so if that happens, just let me know. Maybe a little bit more, like 2, let's see. Give it a few seconds to process. Okay, I think that's good. Back to edit guides. Let's see where we are going to start. Let's try this first. I'm going to move those guides. I'm going to come them to the top. Those guides. Because I can see that this part of the hair here actually belongs to the top because they are a bit longer. That's because the fading map that I painted starts more or less here, so those guides belong to the top part. Or maybe. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. See, I'm trying to figure out if I should move those guides to the top like this or just plant a new line of guides here instead. I'm just trying to compare both sides. Wait a second. Yes, okay. I more or less know what I have to do here. So let's go with that. Let's go with combing this line of guides to the top like this, and you can see how the flow here, how the flow is changing from this to this. So let's continue with that. I think that should fix the hairline in this part. To select guides while grooming, I press and hold Shift and then click and drag to select one guide. To avoid the selection of guides on the other side, I have turned on in guide options, I have turned on ignore back-facing strands. Just like this. So I first comb on the side and then rotate to see it from a different angle and then comb again. We have to groom. When we groom, we have to take into account all the angles to give the haircut a nice shape. Like this. Yeah. As you can see, we are getting a higher hairline here, and that's what we want. We want it to be similar to what we have on this side, something like this. this should not, we will not spend too much time in this part. It's just some tweaking and refinements to for peace of mind, you know. Maybe more like this to, yeah, to have some variation here on the flow. Yeah, like this. And push it a bit more outside to give it a bit more volume on the back. Like this. Yeah, so we now have a, a hairline here that looks a little bit decent. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is try to fix the flow here, because now we have like a sudden change on direction here. That may be what you are looking for, but I don't like it, so I'm just going to change the shape of the guides here to like this to to blend the flow of the guides on this line, to blend them with the guides here, so we don't have this. Instead we have this and this, something like that. So just I'm going to keep grooming like this. And you as well, you should go like this. Yeah, and push it a bit outside. We don't want hairs to go inside the mesh. To check that, we just go in, we can zoom in inside the mesh and see if we have any hair intersections, and just fix it. Or we can use push away from surface, as I showed in other videos. Something like this. Yeah, I like that. Maybe this one as well. Push it a little bit outside to get some volume on the top. And to the front like this. You as well a little bit outside like this to get some volume on the hairline. what I want to do here is to have a little bit of a curve here like this, just to make it look a little bit more like my reference. A little bit more here, and you as well, not too much because I'm going to plant another line of guides here. Another row, I mean, over here like this one here, 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 and here, and maybe here. We'll see. We will see. Okay, let's see if on this side we have to do the same. You are good. A little bit this one and push it to get this curve here in the hairline. We will create the parting later. For now, let's focus on the hairline and the flow. Should go down like this, maybe. Nah, you are good there. But you should be a little bit more curved like this. This one as well. Whoops. What was that? Okay, just let's bring it back to its position. My tablet is acting crazy. And I think this one is too long. Let me make it a bit shorter. There you go. A little bit more volume here as well. This one, it's okay. Okay, let me save this. Okay, it's looking fine. But I want to, as I said, I want to improve the parting a little bit here. For that, I'm going to add some guides first. So I'm going to add the guides like this. If you see, we have one guide here and one here, and the next here like this, and the next like this, like this, like this. So they are not. When I planted those guides, I have that into account, the layout of the roots. And if you go to the next row of guides, you will see that they go to the middles of these two. This one to the middle as well. Let me change the color so you can see it better. Blue. Okay. So the next row goes like this, to the middle, between between those two, and the next the same, the next the same. When we plant the roots like this, we get better interpolation without without planting too many guides. The less guides we have, the better interpolation we will get. But of course, the amount of guides will also affect the shape of the groom. So with experience, with time, you will realize how many guides you need and the distance between between the routes. So you can just see my groom and try to have an idea of how the guides should be laid out to have good interpolation. I hope that that makes sense. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to just go and plant one guide here, one guide here, like this, I mean, and one guide here and here. So we get this line, and we get one guide here between those two, and then one here between those two, and we have this nice layout that will give us a good clumping and also good hair interpolation. Let's go then. We go into root mode and then use the plant guide tool as we did before in the previous stream. So we want one guide here. Okay, each time we plant one guide, the hair will be recomputed. So we have to turn off hair from guides before we plant the guides. I'm going to let it recompute and then turn it off. Okay, so I'm going to drop the tool and turn off hair from guides and the length node so we can get the guides back. Go back to edit guides and keep planting the guides again between those two and next to this one. That's enough. Maybe one here. Let's see how that goes. So we turn on hair from guides back and let it recompute with the new guides. Okay, let's see. We have a question from Luis Andres. Luis Andres asks if we have student licenses. No, we don't, but we offer a 50% discount to students. And when I say we, I mean Ifir, the company that developed the plugin. Okay, so we have here the hair back, and let's turn on the length. And as you can see, we have some weird flow here, so we just have to comb the guides nicely to get the flow back. Like this. Now the hairline is more tight. I like how it looks now. Yeah, we can go with that. A little bit of curve here. Let's see. Angelo have a question. This is not XGen, this is Ornatrix. I cannot help you with that question, sorry. This is not XGen. This is a different hair plugin. Okay, we are almost done with this side. No, this one is not for free. The one that I'm using right now. Okay, I think, yeah, like this. No problem, Angelo. I hope I said your name right. Okay, there you go. You know what? I think I want to move the guides a little bit more. This. Not too close. Let's move them to recompute. So hair from guides will just jump the hair like this to recompute the new position of the guides. There you go. Maybe, yeah, maybe like this. Okay, and going back to this, oops. Going back to this line. What is happening? Wait. Okay, I'm going back to this line and move them away from the head like this to create a little bit more volume again on this line like this. Let's see how it looks from the front. Yes. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now I have those strand groups that I'm not using, these blue and orange groups. I'm not using them. Well, yes, they are being used, but only for selection. I'm using them for selection only. For example, if I want to select all the hairs on the top, but we have now some new guides, and this row of guides here were planted and added to the group on the sides, to the blue group. So I'm going to just select those guys and assign to them the group for the guides on the top. So we can they should be on the group that is on the hairs on the top, and this one as well. So if I remember correctly, on top I have the group number 1. So I go to strand groups, strand group index, and go to the index number 1 and assign. There you go. Now they belong to the same group as the top. Now if I want to select all the guides on top, I just pick the group 1 and click select, and I have them all here. The same if I want to select the guides of this blue group on the side and back, go to 0 and select there. Okay, now I want to make the hairs here a little bit longer to create something like this. Just a little bit more. So let's go back to edit guides. And I'm going to use the length brush for that. This brush right here. With this brush we can shrink and increase the length of the guides. I have it right now set to 3, the max, and the minimum set to 3. So if I just click on the guide, it will not change. It will just set the length to 3. The same if I use 4 and 4, it will just set it to 4. But if I set the minimum to 0, I can do this. I can increase to 0, or, well, I mean decrease to 0 and increase up to 4. So yeah, I think I'm going to use a maximum of 5 and a minimum of 3, so we don't get some weird looking length. And I'm going to increase this one and then groom it back like this, and maybe give it some curve here on the front, and do the same with the rest. Select, increase the size, and comb it back. Oops. Okay, I shall not have done that. Those two. Go back to the length brush. Something like this. you go to the front like this. And you go like this. Let's continue with the same process. Now on this side, and it's the same process, but we are not going to do this for all the guides, just for the guides on the front. I'm looking at my reference here, and it's more or less something like this. I don't want to make it look exactly like my reference, but something similar. We don't want to spend too much time on this, just enough to show you the point, to show you how I work and the tools. Okay, let's see how it looks now. Wait. Just a little bit. Okay. Okay, uh, I think that's enough. I got the shape that I wanted here, like this. Um, Maybe a little bit of tweaking here. The back, I want to get rid of this. Okay, this guy should be a little bit higher, like this. Okay, now let's get the hair back into the original amount, and then we can tweak the fading again. Oh no, okay, first let's work on the hair parting here. So as I said, I want to create a little hair part here, from here to here, like this, to make the hair look like this. And for that, I'm going to use the parting tool here in hair from guides. So I am in hair from guides. Let me increase the hair width a little bit so we can see it better. This is what we have right now. I want this line here to look a little bit more clean, to have less hair between the top and the sides. Okay, so back to hair from guides, and let me close this. We don't need any of this or this. Okay, looks cleaner now. So here in the parting section, I'm going to use the parting editing tool, and if I click and drag, it will draw a plane, and you will see the hair getting split between top and bottom like this. This is more or less what I want. And if I click edit here, I can then select this parting plane and move it. Let's see. Let me rotate it. Okay. There you go. We have this little parting line here. There is some strange shape here. But first, let's see how it looks. Let's see how it looks with the clumping and freeze. Let me turn on these nodes back, and I'm going to regenerate the clumps. Add the freeze, the small clumps, regenerate them because the hair amount is different. Okay, but also I have to get the hair count back to 100%. Let's give it a few seconds to recompute. There you go. Let me recompute the clumps because I changed the hair amount again and get the hair width back to 0.02. Let's see. Yeah, it looks better now. Okay, this line here is too low. I'm gonna have to get it to go like this. Let's see the fading. We have to tweak that as well. Let me hide the small clumps. See how it looks. Yeah, let's work without the small clumps for now. Hmm. Okay, let's get this back to 2.1 to work a little bit more on this line. Or was it 0.2? Okay, and let's increase the width. Okay, good. Back to the parting tool. Going to rotate and then move it. How do I have the guys here? Okay. Oh, okay, it's because of this guy. Maybe the guys are already doing its job. Let me delete the parting plane and see how it actually looks. I have to recompute the hair. Like switch back and forth the distribution type. Give it a few seconds. Okay, what we can do instead is let me show you. let me get the hair count, the hair count back to 100%. What I'm going to do here instead is reduce the hair length only on this line here to get a cleaner line, and I'm going to do this in the fade map that I painted and the one that I have here in the length node. Okay, so I'm going to moodbox and let's see what we have. Okay, yeah, the fade start a little bit too high. Okay, but first let's try what I was saying about this line here, about the parting line. I'm going to add a new layer. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to call this hairline. And I'm going to use this brush to paint a very thin line, thin black line here. Where is the lazy mouse? Steady stroke. Okay. Let's see how it looks like this, 100% black. And export the map. Wait, this is the fade map, right? Yeah. Okay, let me check first to make sure, because I know I did some tweaking to this map in the last stream, and it got I got a little bit confused with so many layers. Some of these layers I think belong to the width map, length detail, fade level 1, fade level 2, 3, neck house. Let me check this one. Okay, let me check. I'm going to import the fade map as a layer. What is it? How is it called? Fade map. So serious. There you go. Yep, that's the one. Okay. So I'm going to export it with this line here to see how it looks. Fade map. Yeah, overwrite. And go into the length and do a reload. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What I'm going to do is make it a little bit wider. Oops, no, wait. Here. Like this. And reduce the opacity. Like this. Let's give it another try. Reload. There you go. Looks smoother now. Increase the opacity a little bit. Yes, I like it now. Let's do the same on the other side. Let's remove a little bit. Reload. Good. Okay, now let's work a little bit more on the fading. I want to try to create another level here, like this, or like this here. Just to see how it looks, just for fun. Experimentation, guys. So we have here, let me turn this off so the new ones here on the live can see what I meant for fading levels. So I have 3 layers: fade level 1, fade level 2, and fade level 3. They have different levels of opacity. They are all black, 100% black. Then I paint the level 1 to define the length of the hair on this area here. This area. The darker the values, the shorter the hair will be. So the level 1 define this area here. Level 2 define this area from here to back here. And then we have level 3 defining this fade, the fade that goes from here to here, like this. So what I want to do now is change the fade to, instead of going like this, instead of going like this, I want it to go I want it to go like this, just for fun. So I'm going to hide the level 3 and add a new layer. I'm going to call this fade level 3 to fade level 3 final point 1.2 final. Okay, let's go back to the brush, and I'm going to increase this, and it will start like this and go down here. This model is not symmetrical, so it's a bit hard to get it to get the groom, both sides of the groom right. So now you know. Uh, okay. Okay, now I'm going to turn this off and just paint pure black here. We don't want any white or gray pixels, just pure black. Let's see how that looks. So in the level 3, I had the opacity set to 60%. I'm going to do the same here. So it should look like this now. Let's export this again. All right. Hello. Let me hide the clumps to have a better idea of the length. Yeah, I kind of like that. Of course, it looks a little bit weird because it's not symmetrical. But I'm going to blur the edge so it blends better. And there is also some hair intersections that I'm going to remove real quick in a few minutes. Just let's finish with this. Okay, now here what I do is I take the blur tool and just give it a pass like this. Oh, there you go. And let me take the eraser, lower the strength. No, wait, I'm going to the advanced, minimum strength 0, minimum size. Okay, yeah, I have to lower the strength. Let's remove a little bit on top to make it look as smooth as possible, as even as possible. Let's give it a try. Yeah, it looks smoother on the sides, on the back, not so much. Let's work a little bit more on the back. A bigger brush. Yeah, much better. Let's remove those intersection real quick because I feel like they are affecting the fading and the results that I want. So I'm just going to turn everything off. The length, yeah, no, the length, not the length, and decrease this to 0.2 to fix this real quick. To fix this, as I mentioned before, I zoom in inside the mesh to see where we have her intersecting. Then I select the guides from that side, zoom out, and just move it away from the scalp, from the hair scalp, like that. Um, we may need to, no, that one. I think this one, no, oops. Let's see if this one, I think I have to turn this off to be able to boom from this side. Not yet. Which one is the guy creating this? I think it may be that we have too few guides. So I'm going to add one extra guide. over here maybe. Groom it back like this and regenerate the hair to see the result. Okay. It's a bit better, but still not what I want. Don't worry, we will find it. There you go, this one. You were too close to the head. Looks better now. This one as well. Yeah, here you can see how the hair is going through the mesh. So I just push it back. This one as well. There. Let's see what else. This one here. Yep. Let me turn this back on. We don't want to select any guides on the other side by accident. Good. This one is fine. It's not too much intersection, and I don't want to move it too much. This one as well. That's fine. What else? No, not like that. Oh, and on the top it have a little bit of intersections as well. Oh no, this is the back. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. It's not too much. We can live with that. Okay, let's speed this up. Tune on length. Hair count back to 100%. Yeah, that's better. Let's compare this. The other levels may need some tweaking. Let's see level 2. How are you behaving? Okay, let's make a copy just in case. Duplicate selected. The eraser. um, no. Okay, let's see. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But this side looks smoother than this side on the level 3 here. So let's try to smooth it out a little bit. This is this is what I don't like about not having symmetry. Not yet. Okay, it looks like it's time for a version 3 of the level 3. Let's try to be a bit more precise now. Oh god, this is pain. I need my symmetry back. Okay, let's see now. Let's try to finish this quick so we can go to the facial hair. Okay. This is what I don't like about the blur tool. Maybe 10 strength. Okay, let's get this rolling. Whoa! Okay, the opacity 60%. There you go. Yeah, that's better. I have a weird shape here, but the fading looks smooth. Yeah, now let me fix this here real quick. You are too far. No, just this one. Okay, good. Okay, just let's push those guides towards the face, the scalp. So we fix that weird shape that we had before. It's a bit more. I'm going to turn off this option so I can groom guides that are not selected. And let's do this to save some time. Let's see now. Looks a bit better. I think it's also the flow here is a bit wrong. Huh. That looks better now. Let's increase the hair count again and try. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so I haven't found what is causing this irregular shape here. Let's give it one last try and we continue with that later. Let's give it one last try. I'm going to groom them like this. Okay, I don't want to spend more time on this part here, so I'm just going to leave it like this and we can come back to this later. Let me regenerate the clumps just in case. And this is what we have. Maybe the small clumps can be a little bit more or a lot more. Maybe we can have a little bit more volume. A little bit more freeze, maybe. I like it in general. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with that. So, okay, now I'm going to start working on the body hair. How is it called? Fish wow. Peach fuzz? Or is it, yeah, peach fuzz hairs. Let's work on that. I was looking for the English word for that. So let's find some references. Jay Garcia Orobio have a question. Grooming? Yes, grooming. We are doing grooming here. Digital grooming with Ornatrix for Maya. I'm looking for some references right now to do the peach fuzz hairs on the face and the body. Okay, first I want to add another layer of hair to blend between the hair on the head and the hair on the face. A second layer here that covers from here to here like this, and then we add another layer of hair here that will be the actual facial hair. Let's go with that. Uh, this one, these two will blend here like this, and this will blend here. I hope that makes sense. Let's go with that. Let me find some references. Reference first. We have this one looks good. Maybe this one. Yeah, let's go with this because the flow is really obvious here. It will be easier. This one looks good as well. Okay, let me save this image. And I'm going to use this little tool. Where is it? This one to load the images. This one. Always on top. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is create a new file and add a hair object, a new hair object to the body. I'm going to select the mesh and click add hair to selection and add a default furball. This is the initial preset. I'm just going to turn off hair from guides. No, wait. No, I'm going to guide from mesh and I'm going to set the randomness to 0. I'm going to this here, the randomness is used to randomize the length, but I'm going to do that using a length node. So I'm going to set that to 0. I'm going to set the point count very low because with such short hair we don't need many guides point. We don't need many details. So I'm going to set it to maybe 4 points. The length, obviously that's too large. Maybe 0.5. And the width, to change that, we go to change width and decrease the width value here. I want to see the hair, so I'm going to use a low value, but one that I can still see the hair strands, like this, just for now. And I'm going to set the same material as the hair, black, so just so we can see it in the viewport. Where is it? This one. Okay, so for now I'm going to turn off hair from guides and delete edit guides. We don't need it for now. And here in guide from mesh, we have the distribution type. We have different distribution types. Some of them are based in the UVs of the mesh. Some of them are based on the topology of the mesh. For example, this vertex distribution will add a new guide on each vertex of the mesh. That may be what you are looking for in some cases, but I think this is overkill for what we want. This is too many guides. This one is face center distribution. This one is also based on the hair on the mesh topology. It will add one guide at the center of each face like this. So it's very similar to vertex distribution. We also have UVs. We have uniform distribution as well. And let's try that one. And I'm going to increase also the count, the guide count. Right now we have 300. Let's increase it to maybe 1000. Yes. Just add enough guides to better define the flow of the hairs. We are going to have hairs on the whole mesh. So let's see how it goes. So we have hairs in the whole body, but with some variations, right? In some areas of the face, the hair is thicker and the density is higher, and in some other areas like the ears, you will still have hairs, but they are thinner and very low density. So we are going to leave the hair on the whole body for now, and let's see how we can reduce and increase the density in different areas. Okay, let me also test the other distribution types just in case. Here we have random area distribution. This is also based on UVs. In this case, this doesn't look too good. We have too many blank areas like this. So in this case, it's not very useful. This one is random face as well, also based on the topology of the mesh, and this is not what we are looking for. And you know this too, and this is even. This is similar to uniform, but it has some randomness to it. Let's go back to uniform. I think this is good. Okay, so to define the initial flow of the hair, like this and this and this and this, like this, I don't want to room all the guides manually, and we can speed this up using the surface comp node, this one up here. So we add this node, and as you can see, it initially will add some direction to the guides. Let me zoom in. This is before and after. Now, right now, all of them are going on the same direction. In this node, we can use what we call sinks to define the flow of the hair following an arrow. Uh, to do that, we use this tool, Syncs Editing Tool. We click this tool in mode Add, and we click and drag on the surface. And now we can define the flow of the guides like this. You see? The same on the face, we can do this. We can do this. Like this. Now we have here some parameters to tweak how the things affect the hair or the guides. For example, we have a ramp curve that will, let me zoom in so you can see it better. If we increase the curve here in the middle, you can see how the guides get closer to the tip and the shape of the sink, like this. Let me show you here, like this. I like it more or less here. You also have the bend value. You have the minimum is set to 0 here, and the maximum bend value determines how the hair will bend following the tip of the sink curve of the sink tool here. I think the default values are fine in this case. The chaos parameter will try to add variation in the direction, like this. You see? But I want to set this to 0. In this case, I don't want this variation. I will use the freeze node to add this variation later. Let's see. What else we have here? Well, for now, this is all that we are going to use. Oh, we also have symmetry. So if, for example, I choose symmetry X, and I can now add things that will reflect on the other side, like this. We are going to use that. So I'm going to delete this one and add a new surface comp with symmetry X active, and start defining the flow of the pitch fuzz hair. Something like this. I want these ones to flow like this. Oops. And this should go to the top like this. And I want this to blend with the okay, we have an error here. Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to I think it's going to crash. Let's wait for the scene to load. Okay, let me set it back. Oops. And I'm going to add the hair again, set it as it was before. This to 0, the length was set to 3, right? 0.5, yeah. This was to 1000 and this to random. I mean uniform. And this time I'm going to save. Okay, so surface comp, the same as before. I'm going to define weight, symmetry X, and real quick define the flow of the pitch force hairs. The model is not symmetrical, so the sinks will not be perfectly symmetrical either. Okay, good. Now, as I did before, no, wait, few more like this. Yes. As I did before, I'm going to increase this point with the ramp curve. Like this. And maybe add a new point here and yeah, something like this. Okay. Okay. Let's add hair from guides again and decrease the width and add a black material to the hair. Let's increase the hair count to 100%. And we are done. Nah, just kidding. Now I'm going to paint a map to define the thickness, the width of the hairs depending on the area. We want thinner hairs, for example, around the ears, around the eyes, around the nose, the lips, and we want also maybe some shorter hairs around those areas as well. So let's start with that map. I'm going to increase the hair count a little bit more. And change the selection, the guide selection to barycentric, and the distribution type to nearest neighbor triangulation to have better and smoother interpolation. So this is what we have right now. Let's go back to Moodbox and paint another map for that. Yeah, yeah, we can paint that map on top of this length map. So I'm going to add a new layer, and how do I call this? Pitch fuzz um, length. Now let's go back to the reference. Okay, how do we do this? Okay, let's start with a white. Yeah, with a white layer and flood the whole layer like this. Okay. Now let's paint some black values. And again, the darker the values, the more the shorter the hair will be, because we are going to add this map on the length node. So we want to make the hair shorter around the eyes, the eyes. First, let me change the settings here. We want shorter hairs around the eyes like this, so we paint darker values here. And around the nose. Now looking at the reference on the ears as well. And I guess on the back of the ear as well. And it's not nice that we don't have symmetry again, because we're gonna have to paint each side manually. We want shorter hairs on this area as well. We don't want too much hair here above the lips. Maybe just a little bit. And we don't have we don't want hair here. So if we paint really dark, we will make the hairs so short that they will not be visible. So if you want to delete hair, you just have to paint 100% black, and this will remove the hair in some areas, like the lips here. We don't want hair on the lips. So paint it 100% black to remove hair using the length node. And you can do the same also using the width node, because the width will be based on the color. So if you have really dark colors, the hair will be so thin that it will not be visible on the viewport or on the render. But I will show you a demo right now. I want to remove a little bit of hair from this area as well. Okay, let's do a test. I'm going to export this map. Go back to Maya and let's add a length node on top of hair from guides. Here is the length node, and let me connect the map. Here you go. What is happening? Okay, yeah, it is removing the hair from the lips, as you can see here, because I used 100% black values here. But we need to keep tweaking around the ears. But let me first connect the same map to change width. Let me open the hyper shade and find the texture. Where is it? Here. I'm going to add the same to the change width to have the length also affecting the width, or yeah, the width of the hairs. Okay, that's obviously not what we want. This is because we have too much white in the map. What I'm going to do is On top of the length node, I'm going to add a generate strength data node. And I'm going to call this pitch force length as well. Channel. Pitch force length channel. And the target will be okay, none. It will be a new one, a new channel, and I'm going to set the generation method to strand length. So this will create a strand channel based on the strand length sent here in the length node. So I'm going back to change width, and in the as the width channel, I'm going to set the pitch force length channel that we just created. And there you go. You can see how the shorter hairs, like here around the eyes, are getting thinner. So this is what we want. We just have to keep tweaking the map. Obviously this is too much. Just for fun, let's decrease the, yeah, it should be something like that. But I'm going to increase it so we can see it better. And also I'm going to change the shape of them by tweaking this curve like this and increase it a bit more so you can see it in the video. Maybe even a bit more like this. So this will be the base, right? This will be the pitch force base. Then I'm going to create another layer to blend between this base and the hair on the head on the top here, right? And another layer to blend again between the pitch force and the eyebrows. Okay, let's go. Let's keep tweaking the map. Let me reduce the length, maybe 3 like this, 0.3. That will be fine for now. Let's keep tweaking the map. Let's remove more hairs around the eyes. Make it thinner and shorter. And maybe we should look for more references. Here I want to make a smoother transition. Like this. And here. And there is too much hair on the chest. Let's remove some. And have some randomization over here. So they don't look too uniform. And here as well. Okay, let's try. Go back to length and reload the map. Looking better. We have to change the flow here a bit more. The good thing is that when we update the map, the length will update, also the generate strand data, and then the change width will be updated automatically as well. There. Let's remove some of it from here. Okay. Yeah. Let's work a little bit on the back now. Going to remove some of it from the forehead. You know what? Let me look for another reference. Yeah, there's less on the forehead. In fact, we can remove it almost completely over here like this and let it only on the sides. Yeah, exactly. Something like this. She have hairs around here like this and around here like this. Then some hairs over here like this. Let's keep working with that. That's a better reference. Let's try to find more references. Yeah, from the ear, it only have on the borders on these edges like here. So let's remove it from this part, remove it completely from this part. And remove a little bit from the top of the ear like this. And let's smooth this out. And I guess it will have some of it here inside. Why is it not removing? All right, I have to paint white. Just a little bit. Okay, it will be here. And here it will be over here. Okay, we don't have. Let's see if I can find one for the chest. Yeah, we have to remove a lot of it. Like in the reference, some of it, no, that's too much. Yeah, that's better. We are getting there, I think. Okay, now we can add on top of surface comp. I'm going to add an edit guides node to comb the hair just a little bit and just in some areas. Yeah, let me hide this and this and this. And I'm going to do some general clumping without too much care, just like this. I'm going to press Control to groom in surface mode. Normally you will groom like this in the you will groom like into the space in the screen space, but if you press Control, you will groom on the surface directly like this. This is with Control pressed, and this is without Control. So we can groom like this without adding intersection. I'm just trying to change the flow a little bit to each side like this. And if you don't want to keep pressing Control, you can turn on this here. Use surface brush. If this is on, then the brush will always be like this. But I don't want that right now, so I'm going to use Control. Just to comb them to the right and the left like this. Just a little bit. Especially here. And here. Like this. Oh, and the ears. Let me turn on ignore back facing and come like this. And let me push these ones over here like this, so they blend a bit more with the groom. Okay, let's not go too far. And let's give it a try. Turn on back hair from guides. There you go. Yes, I like that. I like that. Going to I'm going to select all the guides. They are all, yeah, they are all selected. Since there are a few guides, especially on the back here, that are going through the mesh, I'm going to go into guides operation and click push away from surface. That's better. Maybe increase this a little bit, 0.05, and push away from surface again. Yep, solved. Let's get hair from guides back on, and length. There you have it. Now we can tweak the length and the width a bit more to get the proper look. I hope you can see it now in the stream. I hope the quality is enough for you to see those details. Okay, let me add a freeze node now to add some variation in the flow. I'm going to set the amount to 0 and the outlier amount, let me reduce this almost 0 like this. Let me increase the scale. And let me increase the amount a little bit. There. Now looking more like peach fuzz. I hope you can see it. The hair is very short and thin and it's going like this at the edges of the face, like this. And the neck as well. This one. The neck as well. You can see it going like this. And here on the shoulders, it goes, oh no, it goes this way and this way here, and then it goes this way, and here it goes like this. And we can see some of it here on the ears like this. And I like especially the ones on the back because they blend nicely with the short hair of the groom. They go like this. They flow this way. I like it. And on the neck you can see it like this, flowing like this. Let me rename this to Peach Fuzz layer 1. Okay, I have to go for some food. I think I'm going to leave this here for today, and hopefully next week I'm going to keep working on the hair, the facial hair. I'm going to add two more layers of peach for false hair, as I say, on this on the hairline over here like this, to blend with the rest of the hair, and on the eyebrows. And then I'm going to show you how I made the eyebrows as well, and the eyelashes. And we didn't have enough time today to work on that. I spent too much time on the hair here. My apologies. So yeah, um, thanks for joining. If you have any question, this is the time. This is the right time. Okay. Oh, and also let me find this real quick. I want to thank my patrons. They are Stephen Davidson, Jesus Fernandez, Daniel Ripley, Rosita Castillo Varas, Elise Tack, uh, Goran, and A. Chase Bay. Thank you for your support, guys. So see you next week. I hope you enjoy this. I hope this is useful for you somehow. If you have any questions that you can think of right now, you can just contact me here via Facebook, and I will reply to your questions. I'm going to upload this to Facebook, to YouTube, so everyone can see this later and hopefully find some useful information here. So see you next week. Thank you again.